Hi, guys. It's Holly from Hunter Ryan,
And it's Barbara from the Lazy Reseller.
and we have a wonderful new visitor today. I'll let you introduce yourself, Kevin.
Hi, my name's Kevin Bender, and I'm with Worn Not Wasted.
All right. Kevin, what is Worn Not Wasted?
Worn Not Wasted is a new marketplace that Gulfstream Goodwill developed to really treat resellers as the professionals that they are. We found a gap in what was going on with Poshmark, Depop, eBay, and really felt like they weren't treating resellers as a true profession.
Right.
And we always, Gulfstream Goodwill has always viewed resellers as professionals. Some people do it part time, but there are people out there that it's a true profession for them. That's what they do to make their living. And, it's almost offensive to me that Poshmark charges 20% commission. If the state of Florida decided today to start charging 20% commission on or tax on income tax, there'd be riots in the streets. But for some reason, Poshmark believes that resellers should take a 20% commission, which to me is just crazy.
Right.
So we wanted to develop something that was built for resellers that they could sell at a reasonable price, and in turn, they could lower their prices of the goods that they were selling and still put more money in their pocket.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I've noticed with the site as I'm going through it, it's very easy, except for when I'm messing it up. Um, when I'm going to go ahead and click over to my account. So right now, as you see, I'm listing stuff now. So when you go into the inventory and say I want to add a listing, sorry, I got to pull it over so I can actually see. Um, you have this mass uploader.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that's going to be a CSV file. And
Right.
I'm going to try and use that. It didn't work on my other computer, but it looks pretty easy to follow. Let me see if I can share that page. Well, you can download that CSV, and it has broken down like the different areas. And from the way it looks, it has like the colons in between. So we're
Right.
just going to fill out one thing.
Right. The mass uploader was so you could do multiple listings at a time, and then if you wanted to do one at a time, you can just add new, and it's very streamlined. Takes about 5 minutes to do a listing. One of the things that we thought was important on the listings, as this business evolves, YouTube and live YouTube is going to be more important. So not only can you post pictures, but you can also post a YouTube channel or your YouTube URL to show that product.
That's definitely excellent, because then that way you're able to do more than some of the sites. They have probably not even a 15-second video that
Right.
you can do, whereas using YouTube, you'll be able to do. You could even almost do like the live sale kind of thing, where you could do
Right.
like
Well,
QVC
right.
talk about.
Right. So if you wanted to do a live YouTube on here, you could do that. You could connect that link to the live YouTube. So say you were selling jewelry, and jewelry shows great in pictures, but a lot of times you want to show your watch, so you could do a live YouTube link with showing off the watch, something like that. So we felt that was important.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really great. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through here real quick so people can see how easy this is. So we don't have 10 million things right now.
Right.
I assume that the categories are going to expand at some point?
They are. We wanted it to really focus on what you can wear, right? So
Right.
footwear, clothing, accessories, and there was a couple reasons for that. We really looked at building this marketplace that everyone could have their own storefront or their own website. Really,
Right.
your storefront's your own website. So for me to drive traffic to the site, if we had a narrowed category, it was going to be much easier for me to send traffic to the site for people that are looking for footwear, apparel, and accessories,
Okay.
as opposed to carrying all categories.
Okay.
We really want the reseller to be successful. So we want to drive as much traffic to the site as possible. If we were selling microwaves and home decor, and all
Right.
that, it would be too wide. So we
The
really focus. But if there's a category we're missing, we certainly can add that.
Well, I guess I was more talking about subcategories because, like, right now
Right.
you just have women or men. Like, will you be adding in shirts, pants, and all of
Well,
that?
if you go under any of those categories, there are subcategories for all those. So
Okay.
if you go back to the homepage, Holly, and
Okay.
you go to you scroll down.
Sorry, I have
If
to
you
move
scroll
it
down
over
on
a
the
little
site,
bit.
all right.
Right.
So say you choose women's there. So on the left, if you scroll down on the left.
Okay. Sorry, it's
No,
hard
that's
to
okay,
move
Holly.
this thing around. Okay.
Just scroll down. You'll see all
Right.
the individual subcategories under women's.
How do we select those when we're
So you can just click on any one of those, and it's going to pull up anything that's in there. So on the left,
but my question is, when I'm actually making a listing,
sure,
I don't have the option to select those subcategories.
sure. When you put in the description, well, go back to the listing, Holly.
Okay.
Once you put in the listing, put in your description, you put in your price.
Don't forget the
You're
listing
gonna-
name.
You're going to have to put a listing name or it's not going to let you go to the next page. All right. Come down $2. You're selling some cheap products there.
Yeah, you know, we're just testing.
If you just put in any picture because it's not going to let you go without a picture on there.
There you go. I'm for
There you go. All right. Scroll down. You can just click on flat rate shipping there just so we can move on. Put $10 in there. You're going to make a couple bucks off your shipping. And then over in the bottom right, just go to the description. Oh, so we missed something.
When I hit go to the quantity.
Oh, yep.
Quantity.
All right. So
and then let's try that again.
You need to put in your address.
yes.
Oh, it is making me
For
do
your
that.
shipping,
Okay.
yeah. Just put a fake address, Holly. No, but we don't want anybody visiting you tonight.
Well, I was putting in my PO box. Okay,
So
here,
that's where you're going to pick all your categories and sizes.
Okay.
Now, it was important for us to do it this way on a tag because each of these tags has SEO built into it. So rather than you typing in a description, we put these tags so Google's going to capture that. So if somebody's Googling a specific item and you've already tagged that, even though it's in the Worn Not Wasted website, Google's going to recognize that and pull you into the site.
Okay,
so
that's excellent.
So we wanted to get you the most views on your listing as possible.
Wonderful. See, I didn't know this.
Holly, can you scroll down?
Yeah. I didn't know that was coming on because I
okay, hold on.
have only been able to save so far.
Okay, do you have like an active wear section or athleisure wear section?
We don't have that, but what we have is the ability that if you type something in here and there's not a tag there, you can create your own tag.
So in the free tagging?
Right. So you'll be able to put that in there, whatever you want to put in there.
Yeah,
and then
that's some of the things like I find with a lot of the other sites is they don't have necessarily the newer tags that they would need, like athleisure and
Yeah, so
such.
you just type
And Barbara,
in.
you make a good point. We tried to put everything in here that we could, but I'm sure we missed ones. So that's why we put in there that you could do the free tagging and create your own category.
Yeah, because like a lot of the other sites, they're almost like they're stuck in their little niche and they don't want to expand a lot. Now Poshmark does add more categories, but some of them don't make any sense.
Right. Right.
Type of thing. Also, going up in sizes, you might want to consider going up to a 6X.
Okay, we certainly could do that. I don't think we are at that right now.
No,
but
you're only at I think scroll up, Holly. Okay, I'm trying to use my own mouse to scroll up. That's not going to work. Yeah, so you only have a 4X.
Okay, well, 6X, we certainly can do that. You know what? Quite honestly, when we're done the call here tonight, I'll have the developers do that.
And then I would also consider, because you have, I know I'm a plus size person. I call them goddess size, but
that's great. I love that.
One of the things that I really dislike is that you put everything in as 1, 2, 3, 4X, right? Mm-hmm. But women's sizes start at like 14W and go up to like 36W. And that doesn't necessarily correspond into what you have here, which makes it difficult for that. Plus, you don't have petite listed on here also.
That's great, Barbara. That's why we wanted to get on here with you guys. That's the kind of feedback that we need. So I'm going to put a note down right now. Make sure our developers do that. That's
or maybe even having a free size area where you can put in.
Well, I think that's what I'm going to do is make sure that there's free tagging for sizes as well.
But you might want to consider under size, put in like baby size, kid size, and then have that category. And then under that category for baby, you can have 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months.
Well, that is under the kids category.
Okay, but for women, maybe you should consider Mrs., Petites, Plus, and Tall.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
I also stand tall. I'm not a short person by any means.
Right.
And that's another thing that I always have issues with. You don't have that. And under the women's category, once again, you're going to also probably need, or you have the open thing, because there's women's petite and there's also women's tall. So as we're like the forgotten size.
Well, we're not forgetting you, Barbara. I'm not. I'm going to add it on there.
Not necessarily you, but in general,
right?
You don't find a lot of really great stuff, and it would be nice if it was as I say, a goddess size friendly.
I love that. We're going to add that after the call. Barbara, we launched only about a little over 2 weeks. Yeah. So this is the great insights that we need, because I'll be honest with you. I have this big ego that I'm right about everything, right? And the little voice on my shoulder says, you're not. So this took us about 18 months to build this. And I'm sure we missed a bunch of things. Yeah. So really, these first 2 weeks have been great to talk to folks like yourselves that are seasoned resellers and understand what they're doing, because that's going to help us, get this really set up right for the reseller. So this is all great info, Barbara.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's all sorts of things that can make things better. I would also maybe suggest almost this I'm a very visual person. So for me, this is all very monotone. So it would be nice if you put different, like, alternating colors for each of your categories, like you have here.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Crayons, and then if you can do, like, even if it's gray for the accessories and then back to white or whatever.
Great idea.
You can break up the categories.
Easier.
I'm going to have to put you two on the payroll. That's for sure. Nice. That's a brilliant idea. The color coding is brilliant. And honestly, Barbara, I was working on this for 18 months and I would have never thought of that. So So our job's done tonight. We came up with this brilliant idea.
Oh, I got more questions. I got a whole.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I keep calling the developers and I say, just do this. It'll take you 2 seconds. I know nothing about coding, right? So then when they start explaining to me, it's going to take longer and longer. So we've got this whole list of things that we want to change already. So it's probably not going to happen by the morning, but I've got it on the list to get fixed. But the color coding is a brilliant idea. I never thought it. No one on my team even thought of that.
Yeah, because I can tell you from a person, especially someone, I have dyslexia on top of everything. And to me, it's just one big, blob.
It's brilliant. You're brilliant, Barbara. Just accept it. Just say, yes, you're correct, Kevin. I am brilliant.
I have the same issue that you do. I think I'm right all the time.
Well, so far you have been.
Yeah.
So I did have a couple questions. So
sure.
I'm going to ask one now, Holly. You got to ask one.
Sure.
So in the future, are you seeing this to be shipping out of the U.S. or is this going to be strictly U.S.?
Like only U.S.
That's a great question, Barbara, because when we talk to our attorneys, the attorney said we really suggest that you only do the continental U.S. Because of a couple reasons. Hawaii and Alaska is outrageously priced to ship to. Now, when we built the shipping into this, FedEx and United States Postal Service gave us really cut rate prices. We're thrilled that they really cut the prices down to almost, you're not going to find a better price on the shipping, but they just can't do anything for Hawaii and Alaska because it just costs so much. Then the other reason why we didn't want to go outside the continental U.S., each state or country or province has their own taxing regulations, and it becomes very cumbersome. And most of them, even on first offense, charge upwards of $10,000 to $50,000 fines.
Wow.
So our attorney said we should follow Poshmark, and Poshmark, as you know, started out just in the United States, continental U.S., and then gradually started and identified one European country that they would go to, and then the next. So I see somewhere down the road that this will expand, but it'll probably expand one country at a time, just so we can make sure we're doing everything right. Even in the United States, the taxation across all the states is so complicated that we had to actually build. There's a company called TaxJar. They're a wonderful company. We built that into the system to collect and remit taxes for every reseller, so you don't have to worry about that. But I'll be honest with you, every single state has a different taxation law. It was the only way we felt comfortable to do it was to build them in, and it's a big expense for us. But we felt like it was important that the reseller shouldn't have that be burdened with that. They should just be able to do it.
Yeah, because some of them have states, county, and city taxes. Like if you go
absolutely. And I'll tell you how complicated it gets because I got involved in this. So the state of Pennsylvania, there's no tax on apparel, right? But they have a tax on internet sales that includes apparel. Then it even gets more complicated. You don't have to pay tax until your business does $600 in the state, right? So we're selling apparel that isn't taxed unless it's online, and then it doesn't get taxed until you reach $600 in sales. And every state is that way. So it's this real complication that we didn't want you, the reseller, to be burdened with at all. So TaxJar is going to collect the tax for you, remit the tax, you never have to worry about it.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to ask the dirty question.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
What everybody's going to want to know.
Yes.
What is the algorithm?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest with you. The search engine right now that drives that search bar has no algorithm at all. There's no algorithm at all. Now, this was a hot topic when we were building this because a lot of companies can make a lot of money building that algorithm to do it the way they want. What we wanted to do is I didn't want to steer anyone in any direction. We really wanted to collect 6 months of information and then go back to the resellers and say, what do you think we should do? Here's the data that we have. How do you think we should do this? Because I know Poshmark's had a lot of problems with their algorithm every time they change the algorithm. And really, I don't want to steer anyone in any direction. I think everyone that's a reseller, whether they're new or professional, should all have the same opportunities. But I think it's important to have the reseller community weigh in on that. So what we decided to do is we're going to wait 6 months, collect all the data, then come back and have a forum very much like this and say, what do you guys think we should do? Because every time somebody types something in there, I've got a data point. But I want to be transparent with everybody. I don't want to set this thing up and lead it towards new listers or established listers. I think we really want to create a community for resellers. And the only way we can do that is to be transparent.
Okay, definitely.
But that's a great question because I'll tell you, we have a small team that's making the decisions, and then we have a rather large team of developers that built this. Amongst the small team of us, there's all different opinions. Everybody has put in their opinion. And I really think it's important to let the resellers decide how that algorithm should work.
That's great. Are there any benefits? Like I signed up as Empire member, and as you see here, it says that we save big on featured listings. What is that? Because like when I was signing up, I thought the 75 included a priority. Or it's just a discount?
Well, for the Empire, what's different about the Empire, you can put items on sale. So if you got something for $100, you can put it on sale for $75. It just draws a line through the 100, shows the 75. No other membership has a featured listings availability. So by having the Empire, you can buy the featured listings. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, Holly. eBay charges, I think, 2% of the total listing to be a featured item.
I think this is $1.
Yeah, some of them were like $5. We're at $1. And again, I'm not sure. We may just make those free for Empire memberships. That was Woofy telling me that it's $1. I think at some point those featured listings might be free. Now, I'll be honest with you. My group has said if you make them free, the whole site's going to be full of featured listings. So we made them $1 because we didn't want to overwhelm the site with featured listings. So I'll be honest with you. It's on our topic for discussion on Tuesday. We're probably going to have a fee all the time, but it's going to be very low.
Okay, that's excellent. The next one is.
Let me ask a question.
Yes.
Can you go to the main site, Holly? And then go in. I don't know. Find something. Go to. I don't know. Find your style or something.
Look for something.
Okay, so go to. I'm looking for shoes.
All right, so go to footwear.
No, you got to go to footwear. You're in the wrong category.
Well, when it's a woman, then I was going to go to footwear.
All right, just go to footwear there. There you go.
Okay, so here's my thing about this. Just my 2 cents. I see you have European sizes and shoe sizes. I would suggest maybe putting a tab that you can go back and forth on instead of taking up this valuable space.
Okay, that's great.
And you have European sizes first, which since we're US based, I would switch them around.
There you go.
Okay, good. And then scroll down, Holly. You don't have it on this one. Why don't you have it?
What is it that you're looking for?
looking for under condition. Oh, there you go. So
Yeah, it has it. It's right there.
okay, so I would suggest that you put the condition as first new with tag, and then best, then better, and then good, because
Okay.
while this is alphabetical, and I understand that alphabetical seems to make sense, but in this situation, I think it would make more sense to put the new at the top and then go with the lowest.
Okay, great points. This is wonderful, Barbara.
And I'm very interested in this. You can
And then-
actually create a request.
Yeah. So then my other question is, besides that, is there a way to search for solds?
Oh, there isn't, and that has been brought up to us several times. So we're going to we have the developers actually working on that. So eBay has I think they call it previously sold or sold listings. So we are going to do that. That's something that we missed out on.
Can I make a suggestion though? Instead
Sure.
of putting it on your main page,
Yeah.
only put it on your resellers to have it available.
Well, and that's exactly the decision that we decided. So
that way the seller can't be like, well, so-and-so sold it for this amount.
Right. And when you go to your dashboard, there's a buyer dashboard and a seller dashboard. It will. So if you click on seller there instead of buyer, that's the only place that we would have it. So you'd have to be a seller. Yeah. Okay. So we've already I'll be honest with you, Barbara. The first day I got dinged on that one. So so I missed that one, but yeah, that we are working on that.
Okay. All right, your turn.
Do I get my next one? Okay. What types of affiliate programs are you going to have during the new kid in town phase of growth?
Mm-hmm. We're working on with a company called Affiliation, who sets up that for us. We're building that into the site. So what we want to do, and we think we're pretty close to getting that done. Where Holly, you are such a great ambassador for Worn Not Wasted. We could give you a code. Say the code would be Holly, and you could give a discount on the Empire or the Startup membership, and then every time somebody signs up under Holly, you would get some type of compensation. So we're working on that right now. Really, the only thing we can do is on the memberships, because the vast majority of the listings aren't Worn Not Wasted listings. They're the individuals. So if you were to say, sign up under Holly under the Empire membership for $1, and we could give you $5 for every person that signs up. So we're diligently working on that right now.
Do you have another one, or do I get to go to my next one, Barbara?
I got another one.
Okay.
You're the one who told me to get a list going.
I know. I'm glad you did.
You guys are great. This is wonderful.
So what is your return policy? If somebody wants to return something, what is the policy?
Now we've and I want to ask you guys what you think on this, because again, our group at Worn Not Wasted has different views on this. We launched this with the ability that each seller can have their own return policy. Yeah. So they can make up whatever return policy. So one seller could say no return, sales are all final. The next one could say 30 days. Now on our team, there's some people say that there should be no returns at all. And then some people think that each seller should set up their own. So currently it's set up that you can set your own terms. But with that being said, PayPal runs the whole site. So PayPal protection plan is in place for everyone. So if someone were to ship an item that is not what that listing said it was, that would fall under the PayPal protection. So even if that seller said, I have a no return policy, if it was a deceitful listing, right, PayPal would protect that site. So that's how we have it set up. So what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I noticed that in the CSV form that it had that little section where like one of the examples says, we don't really have, it had like a full text, like we don't really have this. So it would show up. and then I think the other one had like days. So I think it's great to allow each person to put their own, but then you're going to come into the questions of if you'll take returns, then how are you getting them? Are you paying for the return, or do they have to pay for the return? So
Well, the way this works is the whole site is operated by PayPal, and the reason we chose PayPal was that they could connect all buyers and sellers together, and it does a couple things. It protects the sellers, it protects the buyers. So if a buyer comes to the site and they want to buy off of you, Holly, they can use a credit card or they can use their PayPal account to purchase. It doesn't really matter. And when you have your PayPal connected, what it's going to do is the moment somebody buys something off you, that money's going to be put into your account. Now, you're also going to get a shipping label to mail that out to them. It's going to be pending in your account till you click on that shipping label and print that shipping label. The moment you print the shipping label, the money's in your account. Now, if that item gets to the customer and it's not exactly what you said it should be, you send out a blue polo when you were advertising a Lily Pulitzer dress.
mhm.
If that buyer says, "Hey, I got the wrong thing," PayPal can freeze that amount on there. Now, if you decide, "Hey, I'm going to refund this to them. I don't, I sent the wrong thing. It's my fault." You simply go under PayPal and you can issue a refund directly to them. Or if you decided that you're only going to refund them a 50%, it's really up to you. You can do that all through PayPal. And when you do a full refund, that full refund will include the PayPal fees, the commission fees, everything. So it will be a true full refund.
Okay.
We thought that was important, that you shouldn't be penalized if you got the wrong item.
Yeah. Okay. We have I'm going to show on here so people can see on the main or not wasted page. There is a section here that says resellers. Click here to receive the unofficial official manual for resellers. And it's an easy download. Goes through the different types of things. This also importantly has the breakdown in the where you at?
It's page 21 for the subscriptions.
Oh, okay.
I know that
manual.
You think what?
I think it's a cute manual.
Yeah,
you know what? Our digital director of marketing, Tabitha, put this together, and it's funny. From day one, she said, "We need a mascot," and I said, "Absolutely not. We're not having a mascot." And she said, "We need a mascot." Well, she won. We have Wolfie now as our mascot, and she built this, and she really built this for. Both of you folks are savvy resellers. So she really built this for someone that was just starting out. So some of this might be basic to you guys, but somebody just started out.
It's really, really important to look back at those things because sometimes you do forget those very basic things.
Sure.
So it's nice to have that. But in keeping with the mission of Goodwill Industries for helping those with disabilities find employment, and that's a big training along with your training little guide. Is there a chance that you may be doing more training either virtually or in person?
Yeah, we just had our first we had 3 classes yesterday at our Nexus store, in-person training to help folks get onto the site, but also teach them how to be a reseller. Again, I said that I truly believe reselling is a profession. When the pandemic hit and everybody lost their jobs, so many people turned to other ways to make money, to survive. We also own a site called buybluebox.com
Right.
that sells the mystery boxes. We got so many letters during the pandemic that said, the only way that they could make money was buying boxes off of Buy Blue Box and then relisting it on other marketplaces. But they all complained about the high commission. So, the real key to this marketplace is those 3 different levels of subscription. So you can make more money and put it in your pocket as opposed to, paying a 20% commission. So we really feel like we're the first ones out there that said, let's let the resellers decide how they want to pay to sell on the site. And I've kind of bashed Poshmark, and they're a wonderful site. I just think 20% is really high. So we felt like that you had to have a commission. So somebody today that said, "Hey, I want to start reselling," can choose the side hustle program, go to a garage sale, buy a bunch of items, come to the site, get their own storefront, list as many items as they want, and pay nothing to Worn Not Wasted until they sell something.
Right.
And then when they sell it, we're going to take a 10% commission. So we thought that was important. But once you start selling over $500 a month,
Yeah.
that 10% adds up. So say you sell $1,000 a month. Well, it would make more sense to sign up to the startup program, which is just a flat fee of $50 a month, sell as much as you want, no hidden commissions or anything, pay that $50 rent, and then you would also have to pay the PayPal fees. But if you open the storefront in a mall, the landlord's not going to take a 20% commission on your sales. He's going to give you a rent. So we really looked at this as that $50 is rent. If you're really doing some business and you want some tools, then you would step up to the Empire, which is $75, and that gives you the ability to run sales or do markdowns on the goods, and then that featured items like we talked about before. But again, no hidden commissions. One of the on Buy Blue Box, we have a customer that spent $12,000 last year buying blue boxes. So we reached out and said, "My gosh, you're buying so many boxes off us. What's going on?" Well, she has 2 Poshmark stores and her own thrift store, but she has no one within 2 hours to source her inventory. There's no Salvation Army. There's no Goodwills. It's very difficult for her. But she was so frustrated that she did $100,000 on Poshmark and had to pay $20,000 commission. That's staggering. So we really felt like, hey, do $100,000, pay $75 a month. That's terrific. I'll make up the money by getting more storefronts, right?
Yeah.
But we really want the reseller to put more money in their pocket.
Yeah, it's great. Would you consider like doing a conference type thing? Like they have Posh Fest.
Oh, we would love to do that. You're in paradise. We're close to paradise, right? we're in Palm Beach County. If we had enough resellers that would be interested, we would love to do a Worn Not Wasted ball, if you will.
Yeah, and I think it's even a better situation. Like I would rather come to a conference or a convention with one Worn Not Wasted, because then you could maybe shut down the bins to everybody but the resellers.
Absolutely.
We could have a couple hours because that's one of the things that people want to do.
Sure.
They want to be able to go and check out the bins. Well, you are the bins.
Right.
So,
it's funny. Gulfstream Goodwill is one of the few. I don't know if you guys know that Goodwill is made up of 156 individual Goodwills, right? It's not one big thing. Now, Gulfstream Goodwill has always embraced resellers. Back in 2019, they started a membership program for resellers called Good Friends Program. And what that was is, the traditional Goodwills had color of the week sales, and senior citizen sales, and all these sales. They did away with all that. And if you purchase a membership, it's $25 for the whole year, just $25. That's all it is. And every time you visit the store, you get 25% off anything you buy, right? So resellers have loved it. As a matter of fact, what's this, July 2nd, July 3rd? So far this year, we have 53,000 resellers have signed up for the membership program.
Excellent.
So the Gulfstream Goodwill has always enjoyed having resellers as our customers. We do special events where the resellers can shop for an hour before anybody else can come into the store, which is wildly successful.
How did I not get a memo on that?
Yeah, so that's a big deal. We have after-hour sales as well, where on Sunday nights we close at 6 o'clock, and then resellers can shop till 9, and it's just the resellers. So we've always embraced that. So yeah, I would love to have a Worn Not Wasted ball and have all these features for resellers to be able to get their goods at a reasonable price and before the general public.
That'd be awesome.
I have a question.
Yes, Barbara.
How do you plan on promoting Worn Not Wasted? Is there some type of marketing plan that you have?
There
right
is
now, pretty regional.
Right. There is a marketing plan. We actually have a marketing company on board. We already have Google Ads up and running and pretty robust. We're doing an Instagram campaign right now that's driving traffic, and we're committed to spend $250,000 in the next quarter to drive traffic to the sites. The whole idea behind Worn Not Wasted, yeah, you can see that we're out there already. The whole idea behind Worn Not Wasted was for you to be able to really, we're calling it a storefront, but it's really your website, right? So if you owned your own thrift store and you went to Shopify, you could get a Shopify plan for $29, $59, or $79. Build your own website, but you'd have to drive traffic to that. So we understand the importance of driving traffic to the sites. So we're really committed to doing that.
Okay. Holly, you're up.
Now the other thing too.
Barbara, are
Barbara,
you going to be making an app?
I want to tell you, Gulfstream Goodwill was so very kind enough to put signs up throughout all their stores. Now Gulfstream Goodwill has 30 stores that have about 300,000 visitors a month in the stores. They've put signs up in all the stores. So, and with QR codes. So it's very simple that you can, while you're in the store, you can just scan the QR code, takes you right to Worn Not Wasted.
Excellent. Are you going to be looking at an app, or is that farther down the line after you get everything settled?
Well, you know what, Holly, I told you earlier that I thought I knew everything, right? So when we went to these developers, I said, we need an app. We need an app. Let's build an app. And I kept saying that. And the company that's doing this for us, finally, their CEO came on and said, hey, Kevin, you don't know everything. Why don't you just build the site, let people like Holly and Barbara tell you everything you messed up on the site, and then we'll build the app. Otherwise, you're going to build the app and you're going to have to go back and fix the app. So we're planning on doing an app, but these kind of calls with people like you, will help us get it really refined and set up. And then we'll go and build the app.
Okay. One of the things that I actually do that not a lot of other people will do is I will hold items sometimes for people. But I do ask, like, okay, when will you be coming? So maybe a possibility of having a hold option, but like it kicks it back into your selling if it wasn't purchased with them.
Holly, great question, because this came up during development. And what we did was, and we've got to communicate it better, but what we did was every item that you put up, there's an offer item, an offer option. So a buyer can make an offer to your item that you have for sale, and you can accept it, decline it, or negotiate. We really felt that it was important that during negotiation, if someone were to say, hey, I can't buy this till next week, can you hold it? You simply can go under your dashboard and pause your listing, right? It doesn't remove the listing,
Right.
but it removes it from the site. You can hold that till that person decides that they want to buy it, and it won't be to the public anymore. If they get back to you and they say, I just can't afford it, you just make it active again and it pops right into the listing. But Holly, that's fantastic, because during our development that came up, we went out and reached out to some resellers and asked them for their input while we were doing this, and that was a big one. So kudos to you, Holly. You're cutting edge right there.
No, I'm the one like.
Well, don't let the kitten ears fool you guys. She's sophisticated.
Well, you know, that master's degree in marketing.
There you go.
So that was that, and then app. Okay, so
okay, I got a question. I got two questions.
Sure.
So, will you have a vacation mode?
You know what? We're trying to work on that. One of the resellers said, look, if I sign up for a membership plan, I'm going to be paying $75 a month every month. If I go on vacation for, 4 weeks, or this particular reseller was a snowbird. She said, I sell 6 months out of the year and then I go visit with my grandchildren. I don't really want to do that. So we made all the memberships that you can cancel at any time and re-up at any time. So if you were going to go on vacation for 4 weeks, or you were going to take, time off, you could cancel your membership. It would take you back to a side hustle where there's no fee at all unless you sell something. And then when you were to go back on, you could click to re-up. But we want to make it a little bit more streamlined. So we're looking at how we can do like a vacation mode where you just pause your membership. And then you can re-up.
I'm not so much worried about that, as in if I go away for a week and something sells, I need to get that sale out, and I prefer to put it on vacation so that when I'm gone, there's no sales.
You can. In the dashboard, you can click and put all your listings on pause, but that doesn't really say vacation mode.
Right here?
Yeah. So you can pause everything, but I think we got to communicate that better, where it would be vacation mode. And when you put it on pause, it takes it off the site, but it doesn't take the listings down.
Out.
Okay.
So when you come back and go back to active, it puts them all back up again. But we haven't done a good job of communicating that.
Okay. So. And my other question, which is more of a Holly question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. For those who like to use a third party to put their item across multiple platforms.
Oh yeah, we talked about Vendoo already.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. We talked to Vendoo, and they were very nice to us, but they were like, "Who are you?" Right? So because there is a pretty extensive cost to integrate across the cross list. So they were very nice, and they said, "Okay, well, when you have enough traffic that it's worthwhile to us, we'll certainly talk to you." So and I believe me, I understand their
okay, so it's something in the future, possibly.
Right. And that's where I was looking at the mass uploader option, because I have been basically going in and having to copy and paste.
Right.
So being able to use that mass uploader, you could download your inventory, like from Vendoo. I can download a CSV file, and then I can just realign it to match theirs, and then I would be able to upload that CSV file.
Right. And I'm not taking a shot at Vendoo. Until we can prove that we're going to move enough traffic through them, it would be pretty costly for them to integrate without us having any traffic.
Yeah,
so
there's a ton of different sites that do it. I'm just curious if you plan on doing it in the future.
Yeah, we actually talked to Vendoo, and they were wonderful. We talked to List perfectly as well. But I understand their concern. So so Barbara and Holly, you got to get so many stores on here that I can go back to them and say that we are
We're gonna
somebody.
try.
So is the other question I would have is, are you allowed to have more than one store? Because some people like to split their stuff up into different stores.
Sure, you can have more than one store. Now, what we recommend is if you're going to do multiple stores, it's probably easier to do it under the side hustle and just pay 10% commission as opposed to having 3 or 4 empires. Now, if all 3 or 4 stores are doing, $1,000 a month, it would make sense to have separate empires. But yeah, you can have as many stores as you want. Work it out however it works out for you. But yeah, absolutely, whatever you want to do. And that goes. Go ahead.
Is that in your policy?
Yeah, it is in policy in terms. We verify everyone that comes onto the site. We look and make sure it's a legitimate email address and it's a legitimate PayPal account. But we understand that certain people sell multiple niches and they might want to have separate stores for each of those niches. So we'll verify each one of those, even though it's the same. We'll verify it that it's a separate store, and you can do that.
Excellent. Any other questions? Does anybody that's watching us want to type a question into the chat?
You guys have been wonderful tonight. Very good questions.
I
got to be on my toes. I got done golfing, and I thought I'd have an adult beverage before I did this, and I was like, they might grill me. I got to be on top of my game.
Well, it looks like we don't have any more questions. We definitely will love to have you back at another time, Kevin, as you're adding new abilities. And then also, obviously, I have to go up there so I can.
Well, we would love to see you again, Holly.
Come up and do another.
Right.
Buy another bale.
That's right. Hey, Holly, you know what's exciting? We just ordered micro bale machines. So we're going to be able to make 100-pound bales instead of the 1,100-pound bales.
Oh, wow.
And so you could come up with your trailer and buy, 600-pound bales as opposed to that 1,100-pound bale
Sure.
Yeah, I have to get everything put away first. Look, I just want to say I'm sitting on my couch right now.
I noticed. I'm so proud of you.
No one has seen this couch in over a year.
Hey, you know what's great about our website? If you got death piles sitting there, right? A lot of times people don't want to list those death piles because they're paying a 20% commission on it and they're reducing the price. If you've got an Empire program and you've already covered your rent for the month, just put those products up at a reduced price just to get rid of them so they're not covering the whole couch, just move it through. The other thing too is, we've got a program to try and get this off the ground. Right now you can $1 for if you type in reseller for the code under Empire, you'll get the first month for $1. You can cancel at any time.
I thought it changed to Nexus.
Well, there's Nexus, and then we went back because there's still a lot of people just seeing some old videos. We re-up that reseller. So you can use Nexus or reseller. You're still going to get $1
for the whole month. So you
for the whole month.
$1,000 worth of stuff, and you only have to pay $1 commission. Absolutely.
Plus PayPal fees. That's the IRS of all marketplaces is PayPal.
Yeah, that one's special. And so I got that's one thing too with using PayPal. And I'm assuming it's mainly because of the new tax legislation.
Mm-hmm.
When you're setting up your PayPal, you will have to have a business PayPal. So that's important to know. If you have used regular PayPal before, you're going to have a business PayPal, and that's mainly to help alleviate the issues with the tax burden.
Right. So when you connect your PayPal account, if you have a personal PayPal account, you connect it and it's going to say, this is a personal PayPal account. Do you want to convert this to a business PayPal account, or do you want to open a separate business PayPal account? And really the only difference is, because of the new tax laws, they need to either get your social security number or your EIN number if you already have a business license, because as you guys know, over $600, it's now earned income. So you'll be able to get a 1099 from them at the end of the year. So, but either way, if you convert your personal to business or you set up a new business, it literally takes a couple minutes to get you set up. What's important to know, if you make listings, those listings aren't going to show up on the site until you connect your PayPal. Because PayPal runs the whole site, they don't want you to have a listing up there that sells and then them not be able to get you the money. So if you do a listing and it doesn't show up on the site, it's because you haven't connected your PayPal yet. And you just go under cash out in your settings and you can connect your PayPal literally in 30 seconds.
Excellent. So we just had another person pop in. Do you have a question regarding Worn Not Wasted? If not, we are going to let Kevin go have his adult beverage.
Well, you ladies have been absolutely wonderful. Barbara, where do you live? What area of the country are you in?
I'm out of Charlottesville. Charlotte.
Okay. Well, Holly's been up and visited our facility. We would love for you to come down and visit our facility. We'll give you the whole nickel tour of the place. Yeah. Maybe even buy you lunch.
Maybe when this pandemic is finally over.
That's right. That's right. But you guys have been wonderful. I really enjoyed talking with you tonight.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I'll definitely be in touch, see what else we can do to help bring more people into. This is honestly, as I was going through the site, it's just check after check after check of filling those complaints that people have had about other sites, other platforms, how we get treated. So I really would love to see this platform explode. I think it has the potential to, especially right now with issues elsewhere. So if you're watching this, guys, get on there. It's not going to cost you anything to sign up. Get your stuff in there. If you're like me and you do a lot of listings, cross-lister, go ahead and at least check out the multi CSV form. That's probably the easiest way to get things in quickly. And I think that's it for now.
Thank you, ladies, so very much. I appreciate it. This is a great way to end my Sunday.
Have a great night, Kevin. Good night, everybody. And we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.